Our final speaker of the day embodies the spirit of living authentically. For decades, making a difference in someone's life was something Sue Bowles longed for, but always felt was just out of reach. She believed the lie that she was too broken, too wounded, too everything to have anything to offer anyone else. Hope was elusive, discouragement a constant companion, and purpose a dream never to become reality. Now, one of Sue's mottos is, you only have to be a step ahead to help the person behind you. Today, as the founder of My Step Ahead, Sue champions mental health awareness and empowers those who feel stuck and disqualified in life to become all they ever dreamed of. Let's welcome Sue Bowles.
Good evening. Do you want to have more confidence? You want to have a life of purpose? And do you want to finally be free to be you? If that's you, if you're on Facebook, put yes in the comments. If you're in the webinar, throw a 1 in the chat. And while you do that, imagine what it would be like to believe the good things in life are good enough for you and not just everybody else, that you're not the exception, that the things you think disqualify you from being able to help somebody really are the things that make you uniquely qualified to help somebody. As Anita said, my name is Sue. I'm the founder of My Step Ahead. I'm an award-winning author, Amazon best-selling author as of January, and master certified life coach. I want to thank Anita and Jen and the entire Authentic Rebel team for putting together this incredible opportunity. Thank you for the gift of your time last night and today. I'm also the chief instigator behind the Dare to Believe movement. And today, I dare you to believe that you matter. That's been an overriding theme in all of the speakers we've heard this weekend. They have all dared to believe that they matter. You matter. When was the last time someone said that to you? Someone really took the time to appreciate you, to let you know the influence you've had in their life. For many of us, it's been a really long time. We do things we're expected to do. We do things we want to do. We do things we're supposed to do. But we never fully realize the impact we're having on somebody. Because life's just busy. We bounce from one thing to another, from this thing to that and the next thing. But rarely do we slow down to give or even receive authentic appreciation. And for others of us, life has just been hard, unfair even. We walk around carrying the weight of past mistakes, the burdens or the regrets of things that maybe have been done to us against our will in one way or the other, something done to us without our consent. And somehow all those things just keep piling up. And we start to believe that we don't really matter because we're not hearing that in word or deed. We're told that we aren't good enough, that nobody cares. So why bother? We eventually even stop showing up for ourselves because if we're getting this message from everybody else, well, then it has to be true, right? How do I know this? Because I said the same thing before I took the dare. I am a Christ follower, and that does not mean I have it all together or have the magic answer. Because as recent as 10 years ago, I called myself the holy exception. I believed, as Anita said in the bio, that I was too screwed up, too far gone, and a total waste of space. I believed that my experiences, my life experiences, disqualified me from having a life. And since I considered myself disqualified, I put on a mask because I needed to make somebody else believe I was somebody I wasn't. I needed to make myself believe I was somebody I wasn't. I put on a mask to live another life. I wore the mask of being the go-to gal. Sue was the good one. Sue was the strong one. Sue was the one that had all the answers, and you could rely on her because Sue did not have a problem. I was the one that supposedly knew all the answers, and I was dying on the inside. That was the truth. Because you see, when I was 7, I was raped by a classmate in 1st grade. And that told me that I no longer had a voice, that I wasn't worthy of being heard, that I didn't matter. I endured other sexual abuse that only reinforced that same message. Twice I have considered ending my life because if nobody cared, why should I be around? I developed an eating disorder. I didn't even think I mattered enough to take care of my own body. All of those disqualifications led me to believe lies, but I took them as truth. I believe lies that maybe are some of the same ones that you're finding that you might be believing. When we slow down enough, when we let ourselves, sometimes when we force ourselves to think about what we're really believing, we might be surprised at what lies are really there. Maybe it's, I'll be rejected if I don't wear the right clothes. I went through that getting ready for this. I'm authentically me in a hoodie. This is me. But I was like, will I be taken seriously if I don't dress up? If I don't look professional? I went through that even with this. I'll be rejected if I don't say the right things or act the right way, or I'll be rejected if I break down because then someone's going to know that I really don't have it all together. I might be rejected if I tell the truth or if I draw that boundary. Or what about the lie, it's my fault? I should have known better. How many times do we tell ourselves that? I'll never heal. I'm not good enough. Nobody else has told me I'm good, so why should I believe it? I'm not hearing that message, so it must be true. Here's one that I've bought into for a really long time. There is no way God can use me. Too screwed up, too far gone, total waste of space. No one cares. Another lie, and this one really took me down the wrong path for many, many decades. If God loved me, he wouldn't have let this happen. How many of us have said that? And again, like I said, I'm too screwed up. There's no hope. All of those are lies, and I believed every single one of them. And what I've learned in the process is that the lies are all rooted in fear. And to be an authentic rebel, which is what this whole weekend has all been about, means we face fears. We have courage. We have confidence. We go for it. We face the fears, which means we face the lies. Now it starts getting a little uncomfortable. You're asking me to do something outside of my comfort zone, Sue. Yeah, because I'm daring you. We have to get the story straight. And when we get the story straight, we start to find some hope in what has seemed hopeless for as long as we can ever imagine and remember. Being authentic is what we desire. It's what we're curious about, but we don't know how to find it. What does it mean to be authentic? How do we make it real in our lives? Maybe that's what brought you here. Maybe you're wondering if it could be true. And people are saying it is. So then does that mean it could be true for me? Could that be the glimmer of hope I'm looking for right now? Is someone telling me that one of these lies I've been buying all this time might actually just be a lie? Maybe you've disqualified yourself due to your story. The secrets, the shame, the guilt, the fears. And yet that yearning to be real brought you here. Might be what was that magic drawing card that made you say, something about this makes me want to check it out. Maybe you're surprised there are so many people here. I heard there were close to 200 people involved last night. That alone blows away the lie that you're alone and that nobody cares and that no one understands. You are already part of this community. You belong and you matter. It is also really important to note that authenticity is not a destination. It's not we get there and we've arrived and we got the magic answer for everything. Authenticity is a character trait. It's a way of being. It's a way of living. And it's also a daily hardcore choice. Being an authentic rebel means having hard conversations. First with ourselves, and that's where it gets hard enough, but then also with others. And it might even get harder then. It might be inviting somebody into your life to help you live authentically. And it might be taking the first step and reaching out to somebody to start the process of reconciliation. Having those hard talks is part of being authentic. And what I think it's Frederick Buechner talks about the endless chatter in our mind, that self-talk, that is what is so key to all of this. Because if we're believing the lies, why am I going to take a risk to be rejected again? What we tell ourselves, getting the story straight, is part of the first step to being authentic, to this road of authenticity. Up to now, you have told yourself you don't matter. That changes tonight, right now. You matter. Say it to yourself, put it on a sticky note, whatever you need to do, put it on your computer screen, put it on your bathroom window, put it on the mirror in your room before you go to bed, wherever you need to put it, on your dresser, on your computer, make it the new screensaver on your phone. You matter, but change it to I matter. I believe that I matter. It changes tonight, and confidence comes when we start believing that we matter. So, what are the hard questions? What is the stuff we have to face and figure out on this road to authenticity? Who am I? What do I truly value? What are the non negotiables for me? And how will I handle opposition to my truth? To answer those questions, we have to look even deeper. And there's a few key steps to that. Because again, it's all about getting the story straight. Until we get the story straight, we can't find authenticity because we're not going to know what the truth really is. And we figure out that truth, first of all, by owning our story. When I started this whole process, when I took the dare, long before I knew it was a dare, I was in denial about my story. I hated my story, and I absolutely hated myself. And through a chain of events with a retreat program I'm part of called Walking Stick Retreats, I came to face with my story. And it was the most gut-wrenching and the most freeing thing, because I wouldn't be here today talking to you if I hadn't gotten my story straight. The second part is we have to grieve our story. Every story, every loss, every life has loss in it. And every loss is worthy of being grieved. Big trauma, little trauma, small loss, big loss. We put qualifications on them. We give it like a score. A loss is a loss is a loss. Losing a pet is just as traumatic as losing a parent. I've lost both of my parents since October 2020. 3 years, 2.5 years apart. I lost both of them. Actually, I'm sorry, just over 3. No, 2. I get lost already. I understand it. We have to grieve the story because our story and the losses need their proper time and attention. They deserve your energy. They deserve that energy, that emotion that's being caught up inside. It has to come out. You've already heard so many speakers talk about how the pent-up stuff affects your body. A hardcore book to read is The Body Keeps the Score, and it talks about how the body stores trauma. It is not for the faint of heart. Grieving your story is not for the faint of heart. But if you believe you matter, you'll take that step. And the third step, own your story. Grieve your story, and then it gets fun. After you do those 2 hard parts, then you start really daring to believe that you matter. And yeah, at the start, that's a huge jump. You're like, everything in my core is telling me no. That's not my truth. But have you given it a try to be truth? Or are you just believing a creative lie? You see how all this twists together? Now, all of these are huge steps, and they are best taken with support. I asked at the beginning who wanted to be more confident, who wanted to live a life of purpose, and who wanted to be free to be you. And as we've talked, maybe you're noticing something starting to stir. That's what I call holy dissatisfaction. That's the impetus to change. Maybe there's a holy dissatisfaction with where your life is now, but you're not sure how to get where you want to go. Henry David Thoreau uses a phrase called quiet desperation in his book Walden. And I found this great quote from eNotes that talks about that. It says, in Walden, by quiet desperation, Thoreau means the suffering of people who lead shallow, inauthentic, lives dominated by competition for wealth, success, or the struggle for survival. Thoreau describes these people as leaving the city and entering the country, desperate for distraction or a respite from their busy lives, only to return to the city unchanged. We're looking for something and we're not willing to do the work. And we come back in the same conditions when we left. If you want things to change, you have to be willing to do the work. Moving from disqualified to qualified, hidden to seen, silent to confident does not happen overnight. There is no magic pill. There's no snap of a finger. When I'm out speaking and I'm talking about this, I said there is no way around the healing mountain. You have to go through it. But don't go through it alone. It is possible. I am living proof that it is possible. 10 years ago, if you had told me what I'm doing today, I would have laughed you off the face of the earth because I didn't believe it, because I was buying the lie as truth. It happened for me and it can happen for you. That is why I am here. I'm here to show you the way. My step ahead. I only have to be a step ahead to help the person behind you. I'm a step ahead. I can reach back and help you. Well, I'm still reaching out for help as well because I don't have it all figured out. But we have a human chain of support. That is the power of my step ahead. Every life experience has meaning and has value. Some people say, well, I don't have any meaningful life experience. You are alive. You have life experience. Therefore, it is meaningful. It doesn't matter what that experience is. We put qualifications on it. 6 months after my mom died, a coworker tragically lost her father to suicide. She found the body on Easter Sunday. The next day, my other coworker and I went out to the house. There was concern expressed from me. You're going to be okay? This is pretty raw for you. So I guess we're going to find out, aren't we? And yes, there were a lot of tears. And for the hour we were there, but as the tears subsided, I started being asked questions. We're going to the funeral home today. What do we do? What do I need to bring? What about the clothes? Who's going to do what? What about the obituary? I had just walked through it 6 months prior with my mom. I'm quite sure I wasn't well and I didn't have it all figured out, but I was a step ahead. I could reach back and help my friend. That is the power of my step ahead. That is the power of daring to believe that you matter and that you have something to offer right now, regardless of where you are in your journey. It happened for me, it can happen for you. We got to remove the mask. You got to step into the incredible person God created you to be, fully qualified. I have a free download that I want to get you. I'm going to let me hit this screenshot real quick, throw this up on the screen. Hopefully this will hit. There you go. So you can hit that, use that QR code if you'd like. I'll also put the link in the chat. I've got that free PDF for you. It's called Never Too Far Gone, 4 Steps to Rediscovering Hope When All Feels Lost. Fill out the email, give me your email address. It'll be in your email, in your inbox momentarily. I'm also going to drop the link in the chat. Let me stop the screen share so I can also do that. Sorry for all the technology parts of things here, guys. There you go. There it is in the chat. And when you get that, as a thank you for signing up, I'm also going to send you the first chapter of my book. My book is called This Much I Know, The Space Between. You've seen the cover on the scroll and everything. It's available on Amazon and Kindle. It shares my story in much greater detail. And it is the actual impetus behind the Dare to Believe movement. I want to get that to you as well, just as a thank you. As at the start, I said I'm the chief instigator. I like instigators stir things up. And you might be able to tell I have a little energy. I like to stir things up. Isn't that what a rebel does? A rebel goes against the flow. So I'm an instigator of rebels. I kind of like that idea. That's kind of cool. When an instigator stirs things up, they're challenging you to action. I'm challenging you because an instigator sees something in you, in someone else, before they see it in themselves. I see it in you. You have a desire for something greater in your life. You have a desire to be better, to take the next step in your life, to get unstuck. That's why I'm here. I'm challenging you. I'm daring you to believe that you matter. I believe you do. Doesn't matter that we haven't met yet. Hopefully our paths will cross. But I'm here to challenge you with that. Behind me is a quote from the late Christian musician Rich Mullins. It says, it's not going to matter if you have a few scars. It will matter if you didn't live. Scars come from wounds. Wounds are still bleeding. Wounds need healing. And you have to attend to them. You can't put a Band-Aid over it. Think if you have a cut and all you do is you kind of cover it up, hope it's going away because you don't want to deal with it because it's going to hurt when you put that antiseptic on it. And you keep covering it, kind of put it away. And then suddenly it gets infected. But you still don't want to deal with it. You're just going to hope it goes away even more. And before you know it, the infection starts getting bigger and bigger. And then suddenly it needs even deeper wound care. And when they get in there and start cleaning it out and scraping it, it hurts because they're getting down to the core. They got to get all the garbage out of everything's built up on it because we tried to avoid it in the past. But then as that healing happens, that wound starts to close and it becomes a scar. And that scar is a story of hope for somebody else. Wherever you are in your journey and authenticity, your wounds can and will become scars if you are willing to dare to believe that you matter and do the hard work of healing with support. How we answer this question, do you believe that you matter? Until each of us can answer that in an affirmative, positive, bedrock way, permanent life change cannot and will not happen. It's part of the hard conversation of being authentic, is telling you the hard truth. Until you dare to believe that you matter. Not what somebody else says, not what somebody else thinks. What do you think about yourself? Until you can say yes, nothing will change. You'll be living that life of quiet desperation. I'm here to help you. Please click that QR code that was up there. The link is in the chat. You matter, and I dare you to believe it. Thank you.